Okay, let's just jump right in. There's a major shift happening in the world of sustainability careers. And honestly, if you've ever thought about getting certified, you really need to hear this. The whole game has changed. We're going to break down exactly which certifications companies are opening their wallets for, and more importantly, why they're doing it.
It really wasn't that long ago that getting a sustainability certification was, well, it was a passion project, right? You were probably footing the bill yourself, studying on your weekends, and just kind of hoping it would pay off down the line. That was the old way. The new reality? It's a completely different world. These certifications are now seen as strategic company assets. They're company funded, and in a growing number of cases, they're becoming an absolute prerequisite for the job. And this isn't just a small change, it's a massive, dramatic shift. Companies have gone from just being passive observers of your career development to being the ones in the driver's seat, making active decisions. They are now strategically pouring money into very specific credentials because sustainability has officially moved out of the nice-to-have bucket and into the must-have business-critical C-suite level bucket. And the stakes, well, they're getting a lot higher. We're now at a point where your actual career progression, we're talking your next promotion or even your eligibility for certain roles, could literally depend on you having the right ESG or climate credential. And that's environmental, social, and governance, the big framework investors are using now. It's no longer just a bonus on your resume, it's fast becoming a requirement. So what's with the sudden change of heart? Why are all these companies suddenly so eager to pay up? Well, spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with generosity. This whole transition is being driven by one thing: pure, unavoidable necessity. It really boils down to three huge drivers. First up, risk. We're talking serious legal, financial, and reputational consequences if they mess up their sustainability reporting. Second, regulation. Mandatory disclosures are no longer a future thing, they are here, and the rules are only getting tighter. And number three, results. Companies absolutely need processes that are defensible and ready for an audit at a moment's notice. And for that, you need properly trained people. And here's the bottom line. When a company submits a big climate report or has to disclose its risks to investors, someone inside that company has to sign off on it. And that someone needs credentials that are absolutely rock solid. They have to hold up under the intense scrutiny of auditors, government regulators, and these external assurance teams who are basically the people hired to check if what you're saying is actually true. This incredible pressure for expertise that is totally defensible has created a new dividing line. In the eyes of the person holding the corporate credit card, not all certifications are created equal. So how do they decide which ones get the funding? What actually makes the cut? Well, a really clear pattern has emerged. The money is flowing to certifications that focus on technical competence and specific reporting standards. The stuff that's directly tied to regulations and financial risk. The outcome is super tangible. It reduces the company's risk and it's audit proof. On the other hand, certifications that focus more on general awareness or broad principles, well, they're still seen as important for building culture, but they're now viewed as a personal investment, not a business critical one. So what are the telltale signs of a certification that's going to get that green light? First, it maps directly to mandatory reporting, like climate disclosures. It's aligned with global standards like GHG accounting, that's greenhouse gas accounting, which is basically the universal language for a company's carbon footprint. It gives employees the actual skills to produce work that can survive an audit. And here's a big one that the finance department loves. It reduces the need to hire those super expensive external consultants. All right, let's pull back the curtain a little bit. I want to show you the actual mental checklist that people in HR, in learning and development, and the chief sustainability officers are using when they decide whether or not to approve funding for a certification. Question number one, and it's the big one, is really simple. Does this certification reduce our company's risk? We're talking about financial risk from climate events, legal risk from getting the numbers wrong, and reputational risk from being accused of greenwashing. If the answer isn't a loud, clear yes, it's already on thin ice. The second hurdle it has to clear: does this training help us with the reports we're legally required to file? And does it get us to what's called assurance readiness? That's a critical term. It basically means, are our systems and data so clean and organized that an independent auditor could come in tomorrow and verify everything without a problem? And finally, the all-important return on investment question. Will this certification give our team skills that we are currently paying a fortune for on the outside? It's all about building a stronger, more self-sufficient, and, let's be honest, a more cost-effective team from the inside out. Oh, and there's another absolutely critical factor here: scalability. A really niche certification that's only good for a couple of people in one department, that's a tough sell. But a credential that's based on a global standard, one that can be rolled out consistently across teams and different regions and functions all over the world, now that is an easy investment to justify.
Look, if this all feels a little intense, it's because sustainability as a field is professionalizing at lightning speed. And if you think about it, we've seen this movie before. The exact same thing happened years ago in finance and compliance. It used to be a bit looser, and then over time, certain accounting or legal certifications became totally non-negotiable for key roles. Sustainability is just on that same predictable path, moving from a soft skill to a hard, standardized profession.
Okay, so we understand the new corporate mindset. We see what's driving their decisions. What in the world does this all mean for you and for your career? How can you actually use this intel to make smarter moves? It means that the most important question you need to ask yourself is no longer simply, is this topic interesting to me? There's a much more powerful, much more strategic question that you need to be asking yourself first.
So here it is. Here's your new playbook. Your very first move, before you do anything else, should be to ask this question: would my employer pay for this? Just that one question acts as a perfect compass, pointing you directly toward what the market values most right now. Use that answer to align your learning with your company's biggest pain points. Focus on getting those funded, defensible certifications first. Build that core credibility. And then, once you have that foundation of strategic strength, you'll be in an amazing position to expand your skills into all the other areas you're passionate about.
So just remember this. In this new era, the goalposts have moved. Your next certification shouldn't just be about making you feel more qualified. It should be about making you so demonstrably valuable that companies are actively willing, even eager, to invest in you.